yeah. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of Spill the Tequila here on the John Rocha channel. Very excited to be back for another Tuesday to talk about everything going on. Well, talk about things we want to talk about in the world of entertainment and outside the world of the entertainment. And, of course, talk a little NFL talk as well here on the show. But I couldn't do it alone. And joining me always on this show here is the king of swag himself, Winston A. Marshall.
Yo. Shit, bro. It's been a day.
Yeah.
My God. I
A
just
lot of auditions? What are you talking about?
No, my friend wants to come say hi. Well, we'll see if she comes in here or not. You coming in? You coming? You can come in. Come on.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see if I can. Yeah, come here, Bubba.
Oh.
You're making this so hard.
Wow.
You're making this. Oh God.
Are you here? Is that Kristen? Oh, who's that?
No. It's okay. Maybe I can zoom out. Let's see. You guys are gonna see my messy ass.
Oh.
So
you should wear pants.
Right out of frame. You just literally come on, man. Just, can you see her?
Yeah.
There she is. So
there
she goes.
She
goes. That's Asia Wolfson.
Oh.
The 4-time MVP most valuable pup, bro. She is absolutely awesome. We got her on Sunday. So this is her being introduced to the world, man.
Oh, it's so cute.
No, she's adorable. She also is kind of like, she reminds me of like a newborn calf at times.
Oh, sure.
We're like, okay, we gotta go down the stairs so we can go pee. And she's like, I'm not going down the motherfuckers. It's like, she just stares me in my face like, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, come on, we gotta go. And then she tries, she's like, Just like, so a lot of times I have to carry her down the stairs because she just doesn't get it.
How
She's 4. She's like actually she's actually an adult, but she was
gotcha.
The rescue we got her from, she was like a stray. She was a street dog, and so she's well trained, very sweet, all that kind of stuff. But she is, kind of a biscuit head sometimes. So, yeah, we were debating. We were either gonna go with Asia Wolfson. Wolfson, I keep saying Wolfson, or we were going to go after 911 Sergeant Athena Grant. So we were going back and forth about what to name her. And we were like, yo, the day we got her was the day that Asia got her 4th MVP. And we're like, I feel like that's a sign.
That was a sign. Right.
Because if it was a boy, we were going to name him Luka Dogic. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
But yes, Asia Wolfson, at that.
Congratulations, man. Oh,
so partially too much work, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of all over the place. Yes, everybody keeps thinking that was something Kristen was worried about. People thought I was saying Asia. No, Asia as in like the basketball player. Apostrophe J-A, not Asia as in the continent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Learn your WNBA, people. Which is happening tonight. The second game between the Aces and the Fever. Fever trying to pull an upset.
They're trying, but we got the 4-time MVP. All right, both the pup and the player. All right, y'all ain't doing shit to no Aces.
Wouldn't that be something? If the Fever somehow get to the finals without Caitlin Clark, goodness gracious, man.
Well, I'll tell you this much.
Yeah.
If they do, I think it doesn't take away from Caitlin's greatness, but this idea, like, because again, I think where I always got like a bit out of shape about how this was going, there was all this rhetoric about how she's basketball Jesus and everything else in the W is trash. It just again goes to show that the Fever were already a good team, and she ended up being a piece that did help elevate it. But like Aaliyah Boston ain't no like she first overall pick herself, and you brought other talent in. You got a good coach. Like they are a good team. Yes. Caitlin just makes them. It honestly reminds me of the Bulls and how they were. The Bulls were solid as hell without Jordan. It's just once you have Jordan, then you're in a different stratosphere.
Well, once you have Jordan, you can get to the finals, right? Those Bulls without Jordan never made it to the finals. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but never to the finals, right? And that's the difference, possibly when it comes to this. But we'll see. I mean, Mitchell is balling out, man. She is balling out like crazy. So it's been fun to watch her in Boston do their thing. And listen, they've lost 5 starters throughout the year. The fact that they're in the semifinals of their conference is amazing, and pulling an upset on the road is amazing on so many levels. So
no, absolutely, man. So it'll be really interesting to see if an Indiana team can finish the job, or if they're going to self-destruct like the MNBA counterparts.
Well, let's not hope for any Achilles tears. They've had enough injuries.
Not at all, but just not getting it done.
Right,
like,
exactly.
What once Tyrese went down,
that was
the overall look was like, oh, so he literally was willing this to happen, and the rest of you kind of looked like when Jimmy Butler tried to beat the Lakers in the pandemic, and it was Jimmy versus the Lakers. It's kind of like, let's see if this is the same thing, or if they can finish.
Yeah, we'll see. And of course, I think the WNBA wants the Lynx versus the Aces in their finals. So we'll see if that shakes out that way, because Phoenix is no joke either. Even though they lost game one, they had Minnesota on the ropes for a majority of the game. So
yeah, they did.
We'll see. We'll see what happens as these things shake out best of 5. But we're going to get to the sports stuff a little bit later on in the show. Winston, just a reminder to everybody, though, please, the Streamlabs Super Chats are open. Send in your love, send in your thoughts and support and questions that you have for us, comments and all of that, because we want to answer them. But let's start out with our big story here. Let's get to it right off the bat here with 150 people joining us right off the bat. Jimmy Kimmel, more drama going on with Jimmy Kimmel and Nexstar and Sinclair Broadcasting Group, because last we heard yesterday, ABC had relented after suffering a PR nightmare, and the reactions from a lot of people. A letter was written and sent out by the ACLU with 400 different creatives of big names signing on to it. Robert De Niro, Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, the creme de la creme of the greatness of Hollywood signed that letter, basically going after Disney and ABC for what they did, even though they didn't mention ABC and Disney. But it was said that Kimmel is going to come back tonight. Well, this afternoon and this morning, both Nexstar and Sinclair issued statements that they will not be carrying the broadcast on their stations in this kind of hissy fit, temperamental pouting thing that's going on with everybody involved. And they're going to preempt it with news. They'd promised a Charlie Kirk special last week, which never fucking happened. And so now we're in this situation where it's a battle between the local broadcasters and the national broadcasters. And it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But this feels like a lot of posturing, Winston, with people who can apparently stand to lose money,
It feels very I can't remember. Are you a big South Park guy?
Yes, of course.
You remember the episode where Randy gets into Broadway because he finds out that all the Broadway writers and directors are actually just frat bros, and they use it to crush puss. And so they're just like, "What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Off? What's up? What's up, bro? What's up? What's up?" That's kind of what this feels like at this point.
Yeah.
Nexstar and Sinclair are, in my opinion, completely in the wrong. It's everything that's been said about this was literally a push to crush freedom of speech.
Yeah.
It's something that the water has been tested by this administration multiple times.
Right.
And this just became, the minute this got so galvanized the way that it did, this became their perfect opportunity to do that, especially when you listen to what Kimmel said.
Right.
What he said, he didn't say, this is some MAGA nut job. He said, there has been a push from the MAGA world to try and blame this kid as much as they can on the left and things like that.
Right.
Even though his whole family comes from the MAGA side of stuff. Now, regardless of what his ideology said one way or the other, he didn't then focus on the killer, and he didn't focus on Charlie. He focused on the fact that Trump's response was, "How are you doing having lost your friend?" He goes, "Oh, I'm doing fine. The ballroom's coming together. Did you see the ballroom?" Right. And the joke was, "Hey, yo, he's in that final stage of grief construction." That's whether you want to call it a dad joke or whatever it is. It was a joke, and it wasn't even anything going directly about the tragedy of it, especially when you look at the fact that Kimmel was one of the first people to immediately tweet about how awful it was and sending his love and healing to the Kirk family. So this was all posturing and another attempt to push the envelope to see how much can we really mess with shit. But people finally put their foot down. And I think the only other reason that we saw this happen is because I can't remember if it's Nexstar or Sinclair, but one of them is in the middle of trying to fucking do a merger.
Nexstar.
Nexstar is. And then they would go from having some 30 or 40 syndications or affiliates to a few hundred. And that's why you even had, I think it was Elizabeth Warren calling it out, being like, that's a massive problem. Because now you were literally, the point of having it be decentralized is so that you can't have a scenario where now they own 80% of the affiliates and they're able to just shut down programming how they want. That's how you end up with state-sanctioned media specifically. And that's the exact opposite of what we want. So.
Well, and there's been a lot of there's been a lot of, how shall I say, biased narratives that have been thrown out there about the whole situation. Because you see the people who are part of the MAGA crew being like, oh, no, it's about ratings and he wasn't talented, and just echoing what Trump had said, right? But the truth is, a number of executives at Disney who've gone on the record and off the record said it had nothing to do with his ratings. It was all about the fact that what he had said had offended some people. And they didn't want any of the drama and the controversy around it. So they made this decision. Brendan Carr, the FCC chairman, essentially threatened the affiliates with the you can do it a hard way or his terrible attempt at being a mobster, and that ended up blowing up in Disney's face because they lost the $4 to $7 billion of valuation over the weekend because of this decision. And the affiliates are going to suffer for this because the ad revenue does come from the affiliates to Kimmel, but also they're not going to make as much money putting news programming on as they would with Jimmy Kimmel. And I think if ABC really had some guts in the whole process, they would yank all their programming off those affiliates until they put Kimmel back on. And let's see them try to make their money putting fucking cable access channel shows on there and infomercial shows on there and see if they can fill up the time. So to me, that's the thing about this whole thing, is that I think Disney's in an unenviable position. I said this last night on the hot mic, like, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. And I think they should have just stayed the course, ignored all the hype and the drama and the anger and all this and sensitive feelings and all this, especially from the fuck your feelings crowd, and just stayed, like, we're going to put the guy as a right to free speech. This is what Charlie Kirk stood for and said he stood for. So let's not put this in another way. But of course, everything's a culture war. Everything is an opportunity to grift from it. We saw that horrendous quote unquote memorial that was essentially a rally over the weekend, and all the political stuff that came out, his widow aside, which, was very difficult to see all of that happening. I mean, the pyro aside, it was still difficult to see what she was going through, but all the other stuff, they used it as political rally to essentially launch a war, and so you see that. And so to me, this becomes so much more than just Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air. This becomes Disney. It's very similar to the Don't Say Gay bill, Winston. Like, they're caught in this thing trying to placate both sides, and they got fucked because they felt the need to choose the side when they could have just stayed the course and walked down the middle.
Yeah, and I mean, I think specifically the part that got the most interesting to me is the fact that you did see some right-leaning people like the Ted Cruz's of the world. I can't believe, again. Hell freezing over, but like the Ted Cruz's of the world and the Tucker Carlsons that are straight up being like, yeah, this is literally a direct assault on the
right.
If this had happened and Sinclair had made a statement on their own, and didn't have Brandon Carr on a podcast being like, you can do this the easy way. Like, if he had literally not said anything, this plays differently. But you literally are standing there with a smoking gun.
Yeah.
And so whether or not you're like, well, that's not what I meant, it doesn't matter what you meant. It's what it looked like.
Right.
And then you don't have any good faith for us to be like, you know what, maybe that was a mistake. The only people that are saying that are the people that are diehard MAGA folk that are like, that just will see no wrong no matter what. Like, it just doesn't, it was a bad effing move.
I agree.
And Lord, and the only thing that's been wilder, bro, is in between all the stuff about how, the rapture apparently happened. I guess we're the leftovers, bro. We're still here. So
I wish it had happened one way or another. Like, get rid of them or get rid of me. Like, I was cool with either way. You know what I'm saying? Get me out of here.
But
get them out of here. Go ahead.
But I went down, unfortunately, a rabbit hole of the memorial of both Erica Kirk coming out like everybody's joke was she coming out like Goldberg in '98.
Cody Rhodes.
She was trying all the fireworks and shit.
Yeah.
For her coming out, and then people being like, "Wait a minute, bro, she won Miss USA, a Trump-owned pageant, to do this, and then all of a sudden she was working at this, and then all of a sudden she like kind of met Charlie at this, and all the conspiracy started going on." I said, "Oh my God, why am I reading all this?" And somehow being like, Was she a honeypot? What's going on?
It's really crazy. And the new I think attorney general or lawyer he's appointed in Virginia was also in the same beauty pageant as her. And so it's like, what is happening here? And that he apparently that was when he was walking in on these women in the teen pageant type stuff. You're like, wait, what? And then the Charlie Kirk's dad is a guy who was part of the construction who built the Trump Tower. And you're like,
which is why once I saw this, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I have never looked good in aluminum foil. I only wear it for free Chipotle days. So let me just circle back to what's important here. The whole point, and this is what I actually get worried about.
Yeah,
a lot of the stories that have come around the news to just point out similarities of moments like this. When Putin first ended up in power over in Russia back in like the 90s, early 2000s, whatever it was, there was a show, like a puppet show on NTV that would clown Putin all the time.
Right.
But it wasn't exclusive to Putin. They would clown whoever was the president and or prime minister of the country at the time. That was just what they did. And he got so butthurt about it that he actually had an oligarch that he was close with buy the network, send in state troopers and be like, "No, y'all are done. You can leave. Yeah. You either agree to do the programming we say or you get out." And so what everybody was pointing at is of all of the things that have gone through, all the ICE stuff, all of the anti-gay or trans stuff, any of the things that you've been seeing going on for the last couple of years, if you get to the point of the full-on general first thing that is promised as an American, the idea of freedom of speech and that you cannot be arrested or whatever else by the government for doing so, this whole thing truly falls apart. It's done. So that is why you have seen so many people on both sides of the aisle be like, no, absolutely not on that shit. You don't have to like Kimmel. You don't have to find his jokes funny or support anything he says. You don't have to do it. Like the one thing about capitalist society, put your dollars where you want to see them. But the minute you start doing this shit via the government, it's over, bro.
Yeah. And that's what you look at right now. And I am surprised at how many right-wingers, prominent right-wingers, have come out to say this is the wrong move. This isn't what should happen. And already Brendan Carr backed down and said, that's not what I meant. You misread it. You misunderstood what I was saying.
Whoa. Who said anything about a hard way?
I wasn't I didn't take anybody's licenses. I just said there's an easy way and there's a not so easy way.
Right. You either can renew online or you can go to the DMV and you can wait in line. That's the easy way or the hard way.
It's just, you got to fill more papers out. That's all I was saying. I don't know why people felt the need. And it's like, so what is happening here? And of course, Fox News, without missing a beat, was like, that's right. Nothing happened here. Why is the left getting upset about freedom of speech and all this? And it's like, come on, man. You all know exactly what you were doing. And this gaslighting that they do is just utterly fucking confounding on so many levels. And because this is exactly what they want to do. And look, you bring up something that's really interesting, Winston, when you bring up the puppet show and all this kind of stuff, because I saw the same stuff earlier this week as well. And you're just like, well, where is the line? Right. And I'm glad that people are pushing back here on this situation. But I mean, the things that are happening behind the scenes with how much they want to control the narrative now and control the media is becoming hungrier and hungrier, right? Nexstar can say, well, we did this because we want to curry favor to get this merger through. But once you curry favor, it doesn't end there. And I think a lot of people, including Michael Eisner, former CEO of Disney, came out and said this, like, you giving the bully your lunch money doesn't satisfy him. It means he's going to come back for more
every day.
Exactly. And Nexstar is going to find that out themselves. Like, okay, we curried favor with him. Always going to want more and more and more. Sinclair is already in the pocket for Trump. They're hardcore right-wing nutballs. So they want that kind of stuff to happen. But Nexstar is a little more kind of not quite there yet. So I just think this is going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in the moves that they're making, because and if they buy Warner Brothers, if Warner Brothers gets bought by Paramount and Ellison and he gets control of CNN, forget it. The only people you'll find is on YouTube, or Substack.
Do you watch Last Week Tonight?
John Oliver. Yes, of course.
Did you see his bit on Kimmel?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the one part where he's like, but see, fortunately, we don't have to worry about anything here because Warner Brothers would never be bought. And then they play the clip. Paramount is looking to merge with shit. Fuck, shit, God damn it, motherfucker, God, motherfucker.
Exactly.
But I that is the ultimate thing here. At the end of the day, it's that exact money about the bully taking your lunch money.
Yeah. Yeah.
This became a problem the minute every single one of these CEOs went immediately running up to go kiss the ring, hand out golden trophies, and we're gonna do whatever you say, and blah blah blah. And I understand in order to move forward, whatever country you're working in or out of, you do have to not piss off the government. But the idea that they all kiss the ring set the tone.
Right.
At some point, somebody has to draw a line in the sand and be like, nah. And I hope the beginning part of that, when you have egregious things like the raiding of the Hyundai facility a couple weeks ago, and you're accosting all these South Korean workers that all are legally allowed to be here with the permits that they have and everything like that, and you're detaining them, and you're holding them at gunpoint, you're throwing flashbangs and shit. I genuinely hope that company goes, you know what, we're done putting infrastructure into America. We're out.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that has to happen to stop this just rampant rampage that is going on.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't think it's what a majority of the public of the country wants. Yes, I love, the right has their stupid little talking points on CNN and Fox News and all this kind of shit. Oh, and all the stuff they say, like, oh, well, half the country voted for this, more than half the country. No, they didn't. They voted. First of all, half the population did not vote for Trump. It was 49%. It was different. It was plurality. It wasn't the majority. And the other side of this is that the polls show you that everything he's doing are not supported by a majority of the country. So, yes, they voted for him because he was talking about bringing prices down. They wanted to give him a chance. I'll totally concede that. But I don't think people, like, in 95% of the people that voted for him were like, hell yeah, do what you're doing. Disappear people off the streets, shut down free speech. Anybody who criticizes you gets in trouble. Like, that's not what people want. We still want to be America. They just want to be able to afford the stuff so they can, like, feed their families and pay their bills. And so it's so frustrating when you see all this stuff happening. All right, people keep mentioning Project 2025. That's for sure. I just hope the next time the Democrats get in power, if they ever do get in power, we don't start doing this bullshit that we need to kumbaya around a tree and fucking reach across the aisle. We only need to be doing that with people who legitimately want to reach across the aisle. The people that don't, keep them out of the conversation. They don't fucking matter. If you're not looking to compromise and you're not looking to find middle ground, I don't think we need you in the country anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. Extremism on any side, I don't need it. We don't need it. The middle needs to own the country, and the middle needs to be louder and speak louder and take control again, because the two children are running wild, and you need the adult to come back in the room and go like, that's fucking enough.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Did you ever have you old as hell? Did you ever have a Stretch Armstrong back in the day?
Well, of course. It was in black and white. Yeah.
The reason I bring that up, though, is while I hear you, you got to remember this Stretch Armstrong that is this country has been completely warped. When you pulled him too much, he did not rubber band back. It's not how that worked. And that's the whole thing. Nothing is where it was. I think the true answer at this particular point, there truly needs to be a real third party.
Yeah, the middle.
Because that is the only thing. But that's the thing. I think at this point, because the Democrats have moved so far to the right, they really are kind of more sitting on that center and or kind of center right type scenario at this point. You need like a true, and I'm not saying you go far left, but you need like a true left option where it's the Democrats are kind of in the center or whatever, the Republicans on the right or whatever's on the left. Now, it ain't going to be no Green Party because they're not serious about shit. Like, Jill Stein ain't been in the fucking news since the election was over, so I ain't even talking about that. But if there was ever a point in time for some sort of movement of the people to really do that, and think about the countries that do have essentially like a three-party type of system and how shit tends to not get too far out of control, because then it's a scenario of like, well, now I really do need to negotiate with different groups of people here versus like, if you're right leaning, I'm left leaning. I've known Rocha forever. We've been buddies. We go back. Whatever. He'll do me a favor. He doesn't give a damn, because then it just honestly, they all feel like they're on one team anyway. They don't genuinely feel like they're that separated unless it's like, well, I got to play my part right now and speak up. Yeah, So
the problem is the middle doesn't have a lot of vocal people because the middle doesn't believe in doing that kind of stuff. That's the problem. Is nowadays. The middle people in the middle don't like to draw attention to themselves. That's why they're in the middle.
That's right. And that's my problem.
Right. Exactly. That's the problem when you look at it. because people are asking in the chat, what's the middle? Here's the middle: fiscally conservative, socially liberal. That's essentially the middle. People want to let other people live and exist, but they also want responsible financial things happening in the country. They want to have good immigration reform, and I think that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. But they also don't want you to be attacking gay people and attacking the LGBTQ plus community and all this kind of stuff, and everything case by case basis without people losing their fucking minds like their pants are on fire. Okay. And how do we deal with the trans issue? Listen, it's 1% of the fucking country. 1%.
That's why it's always been
it's such stupid nonsense to hold on.
It's literally why it's been the most infuriating discussion over the last couple of years because you were talking about a group of people that literally are just trying to exist. They have not done anything in any shape or form on that whole that you're talking about. If anything, every time you wanted to be like, oh, and then you just like, you want to be J.K. Rowling and be like, oh, they're just going in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
One, there was I cannot remember the stand-up's name, but I could the perfect joke to do it is like, y'all really think that something like that the sign is what is stopping somebody if they want to assault someone, like chasing a woman? She runs, oh no, she went in the women's restroom. I guess there's gonna be nope for me today. Like it's the stupidest thing that I have ever heard. And to that point, because it is happening so infrequently, you deal with the individual that actually is doing that shit and stop trying to put everything on a damn community.
Yeah.
If for all of the uber Christians that are sick and tired of all Christians being painted as some sort of bigots, maybe stop doing that to other groups. Maybe stop saying that all Latinos are criminals and rapists, like Trump wanted to say before. Stop saying all black people are thugs and they thirst for violence. Like that all gay people are grooming folks. This is literally why we end up in this stupid ass situation in the first place, is that you want to draw a broad brush with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Tone says, I'm fiscally conservative equals tax the rich. No, it doesn't actually mean that fully. What it means is that people pay their fair share so that we have the money we need for infrastructure, so that people aren't living in ghetto existences. People aren't living in shitty situations. We have roads that can get fixed. We have things that can happen. And we don't have rich people running off through tax loopholes to make even more money, obscene amounts of money, because that's nonsense. It's not the way it should be happening. You can't go to church and say, whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers as you do unto me, sing all the hymns to God and Jesus Christ, and then turn around and be like, well, fuck them. I'm going to make as much money by raping them figuratively out of their wages so I can buy my 50-foot yacht or 100-foot yacht or 75 fucking cars or my 35-bedroom house. Like, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it should work. We're supposed to take care of each other and care for each other. I'm not talking socialism. I'm talking humanity. There's a difference, and I think we've lost, the extremes have lost that thing, because I walk around my town, man, very diverse, healthy white population, healthy Latino population, Asian population, Middle Eastern population. And we all hang out. People smile at each other. People say hi to each other. People hang out and have conversations. I love it. Military, non-military. It's great. That's America, right? What we're seeing online, that's not fucking America. Well, those are nutballs trying to make money off our anger.
But that's the problem. I was just saying this the other day. At this point, while I love doing this and all the stuff, whatever, the internet at this point is truly a mistake. Like I know it sounds crazy, and it's only getting accelerated between algorithms and AI in the sense that we are what these companies have been able to farm.
Yeah.
And they say this all the time. If you're not paying for a service, then you are the commodity, right?
Yeah.
So you may not be paying with money, but you're paying with your attention, your time, your anger, whatever.
Yes.
We are literally being farmed to be angry and to yell at each other and attack each other. And the more that happens, you stop losing the humanity of someone that looks different than you.
Right.
And the reason why people wonder, like MAGA folk be like, well, why are you all like the left always wants to attack Trump? You got Trump deranged. It's because listen to the shit actually coming out of his mouth.
Right.
How is anything that's coming out of his mouth not directly divisive about wanting to, I would just knock him out. I would punch him right there. I'd be like, wow, like I fire that son of a bitch. You're fired. Like he literally spends his entire time antagonizing. And you want to be like, oh, then you're soft, like he's just joking or whatever. But if what you want is for people to talk to each other like humans, you know how they say you catch more flies with honey than vinegar? You are laughing at the idea of someone taking a fire hose of vinegar and spraying it at other people, and you're laughing at that happening. You to not be able to see that is absolutely crazy to me. But again, that is what this algorithm, that is what the social media and internet stuff has now become. And we get to the point where if you wanted to have some sort of conversation about something where maybe I don't necessarily see something like you, if you've already come in and be like, well, look at this snowflake, look at this, what now I'm already done. Right. Because you're using dog whistle terms to try and prove some sort of shitty ass point. You know what I'm saying? So
100%. Like, and I've caught myself now recently, ever since the Charlie Kirk assassination, I've just had a really different approach to things. And I'm trying to tell myself, do not respond to this person. Do not post this stuff. And then sometimes I'll just post something. And then like 5 minutes later, I go, delete it. And it's because in that moment, I'm like, God, but then I'm catching myself more and more the last few days, like, get off this Twitter, get off this app. Because what it has done, it has convinced me that if I'm not on this app, I'm going to miss out on things that are happening at that moment. And I've got to break. And this is the responsibility we all have. And I mean, I would encourage people to stop using Twitter, to be honest with you, unless you're posting one thing and then leave it. Because the more we show these people that we don't want to use their products, the more we show these people that we don't want to be on there for hours and hours, the more they're going to want us to come back because they need us. That's the thing. People need to understand we have the power. They don't. The billionaires don't. None of them have the fucking power if we don't concede. And all these things that are happening around in the country and the world, like the reason I get frustrated with the Trump is that not enough people are standing up to stop it. And that's the frustrating part of it. Now, the Jimmy Kimmel thing is a great example of people standing up in mass around the country, around the world, really. And I was watching an Australian program last night. I watch this Australian program every night. It's a very funny program where they have a panel guest, and it's very funny. They were complaining about the Kimmel situation. I'm like, it made it all the way to Australia. So to me, this is where people are noticing all this kind of stuff. So they want to stand up and push back against this kind of stuff.
To take it a step further, bro, and to think that we're having this whole UN thing right now, and his speech today is, I do everything better than all of you. You're all shit countries. Like, if you want to have a conversation about the UN not really doing things and being somewhat of a joke, that's an actual conversation I think we could all have. Because a lot of times it is a lot of just kind of whatever. But to sit there and tell every single one of these countries there, all your countries are trash. America's the greatest that ever was. Look at how we're doing. The average time for speeches is 15 minutes. He took almost an hour. Like, that is the type of bloviating bullshit that people look at and go, y'all are a joke.
But I think the UN knew that. If you saw the stuff today, it was very funny. They turned off his teleprompter in the middle of his speech, which I thought was great. I thought it broke. They actually just turned it off. Yeah, it's like, well, it broke. And then when he was getting on the escalator with Melania, it broke. So there's these little things that people are doing, these little minute moments of protest. And I kind of think that's a sign, right? That people are getting a little sick of it. And you watch Stephen Miller, Dork Central over there at the rally, trying to use some of Joseph Goebbels' actual words in his speech. Which is insane, right? But this is what it is. This is what people need to realize. They're all just bullies. And they're insecure, sad, dork bullies. All of them. Hegseth, Carr, Trump, all of them. They're just dorks. They're really dorks. And they've found their way to convince people that they're alphas. And they're not. And if you just push back, if we all push back and go like, enough, then they'll back down. They relent, because bullies always back down. They always back down when confronted with force. And so, or with resistance, or the strong enough resistance. And so I think we have to embrace that moment. Musk is a dork. They're all dorks, but they have us scared. And the thing is, we have to give our fear over to them in order for them to scare us. And we have to pull that back now as a society, I think. So, but we'll see.
I was going to ask you, man, how old are you again? If you don't mind me asking.
I am 25. I'm 35, actually.
in all seriousness, I'm not making a joke.
My age doesn't matter, and I don't do it when we're talking. So
okay, the reason why I did it is because I know this much that you've got. I want to say Stephen Miller by at least a decade, and he looks like he's 3 decades your senior.
He's got
that was more it. Is that he is 40 and he looks like he's 70.
Because you can't carry that much hate and have it not destroy you from the inside out.
And my guess is you're somewhere between the ages of 40 and 50, and you look like you're 32. Like that's you know what? Like that wasn't even me trying to come at you like that. It was more from the standpoint of just look how it just eats you away like a goddamn Trader Joe's banana, bro.
You're right. You're right, man. You watch the people who are hateful, they morph into some of the most ugliest people physically because
they turn into Palpatine.
Yeah, basically Palpatine. Yes, because it does affect you. It does affect you to have that much hate in your heart and anger in your heart and pain in your heart, and it changes your face. It wrinkles you. It makes you haggard. It makes you flip out. You know, it does all these things to you. You know what I'm saying?
What was the thing that happened at some point this year where he went into a full-on yelling fit? You're not gonna. Yeah. I don't even remember it. I was just like, bro. This feels like Denzel at the end of Training Day where he starts he's clearly lost it and everybody's like, yo, bitch ass. Like, I can't believe we were ever worried about you. It was just so pathetic.
It's like the end of Wonder Woman, right? We all have to kind of wake up and go like, oh my God, Eddie's has made us do this and be at each other's throats. We need to break out of the spell, be done with it. Laugh at these people again like we used to, these fringe conspiracy theorist psychos, laugh at them and push them to the edges again. We have let the cockroaches not run when you turn on the light, and we have to stop doing that. And I think if we get together strong enough, when enough people say enough is enough, then I think that's where it's going to turn. Because this idea that people are waiting to be ruled by this authoritarian dictator in this country, they're out of their minds. If you think the military is just en masse going to turn on the public, their own fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and friends and workmates, you're out of your fucking mind. You know, yes, the former J6ers are running around as ICE doing the things that they're doing. Fine. But but eventually, if he ever turns the military really on the American public, I think he's going to find that a lot of the military aren't going to want to go along with it. And that's going to be a real wake-up call. I don't know that much about the police, but having served in the military, I know there's a lot of good-hearted people in the military who don't want to do things like that and abuse their power against the American public. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Kimmel's on tonight. Go see Kimmel, see what happens and whatever. I'll have a reaction to it at some point, either probably tomorrow morning. So, all right, let's move on to this other thing, man. Real quick, Winston, the prices are going up on Disney. Well, what the hell is going on? As if there wasn't enough drama going on. Now they're hiking their prices. Bro, Disney is hiking their price. Can you believe this nonsense?
They're out of their mind. I'll be honest with you. If they wanted to do this needed to immediately be postponed. It needed to be postponed for at least a month or some change. Yeah. You were in the middle of this scandal and you think it's appropriate to raise your prices, especially when you had people boycotting you to go, nah, F this, we out. You think this is a good move? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, the standalone plan with ads will increase by $2 to $11.99 a month, and then the premium plans will increase by $3 to $18.99 a month. Now, some people are like, it's just $2 or $3, but all of them are doing it. So if you started out with these streaming services at a certain amount, now everyone has been increasing. Paramount Plus, Peacock, Netflix, Apple, they're all increasing across the board. So it becomes a situation, and HBO Max is goddamn insane. It's well over $200 a year for HBO Max, which is nuts.
Well, that's why I'm locked in right now, and I think it's for the year, but I got to double check. I'm locked in at like a bundle deal of HBO Max, Hulu, and Disney Plus.
Right.
Which is the only reason that, like, because I was willing to be like, nah, we can go ahead and cut this off, but I didn't want to lose this deal because I figured this, if it wasn't going to blow over, then I would have had to think about it.
Right.
But I had a feeling, I was like, let's wait like a week or so without trying to be like a tool. Because I got all three of them for $16.99 right now.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm kind of like, I just need to, I can't.
Well, the new one, I mean, I tried to watch the pay-per-view over the weekend, the wrestling pay-per-view, and I have the ESPN app, but apparently, and I did not know this, there's ESPN Prime and
Yes.
ESPN Select. And
Yeah,
I'm
no,
ESPN
it's
Select. And
dude.
they're like, you need to jump to Prime. I was like, you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. I'm already paying you.
Did you watch the newest season of Black Mirror?
No, I have not yet. I know you told me to why. I've not gotten to that.
At bare minimum, it's all really well done. At bare minimum, I need you to watch just the very first episode of the new season. It's got Tracy Ellis Ross, Rashida Jones.
Love
it's
Tracy.
literally the premise of it is a woman dies.
Yeah.
And they get this technology in her that actually keeps her alive. But the technology is owned by a pharmaceutical company that has gone into the subscription service. So they literally at any point in time could limit how much she's actually able to be out and about throughout the day. They could send ads to her brain, like all of this random shit. And it is so dark, but that is Black Mirror has always been very good about taking technology and essentially showing a dark version of where we're going.
Yeah.
And it was mortifying, but it was so spot on.
What was the one from 2 or 3 years ago or 2 or 3 seasons ago where it's like she put her soul inside the thing or whatever, and it kind of I think God, I can't remember.
There was a couple of them, but there was also the season before this one. The opening one was Joan is the worst, or Joan is awful.
Yeah,
and that one was about a woman who sold her life rights to Netflix, and so Netflix was using AI to essentially play her life out. So like she was cheating on her husband, and so then she was played by oh my God, what's her name? Super hot Selma Hayek. She's played by Selma Hayek.
Right.
And so Selma Hayek started cheating on her husband, but it was literally the exact same first name, last name. People going, bitch, that was you. Because you, oh my God. So her life is falling apart because her life story is being fed to the AI machine and oh my God. It was so good.
I need to catch up on this stuff. I wish I could find which one it was, but it was I think John Hamm was in it. But I'm not sure.
Oh, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, there's one where I don't want to ruin it, but essentially, I don't want to ruin it because if I do, I would have to give everything away. But the name of it is White Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I that one specifically, but I don't want to ruin specifically what it is because it is. Right. That's the thing. Black Mirror be going there, bro. It'd be going there hardcore. But dude, they took down Bandersnatch. I'm so mad. I just found out about it this morning.
Why did they take that one down?
It was the interactive special that Netflix did. It was like an interactive game where you were like the way you used to do the choose your own adventure books. You would choose decisions for the main character to do, and depending on what you chose, you could get yourself killed. You get yourself sucked in a computer forever. Like it was all the shit. They took it down. I'm so upset about that shit, man. It was so good.
Okay. Wow. All right. I need to kind of take a look at that one too, right? Because they took it. You said they took it down now.
They took it down, so I don't even think it exists anymore. Now there are people that were essentially like, well, you know, if you find the file for it, here's a program to run it on your own. But yes, no, it was awesome. It was so awesome, man.
I need to watch these. Yeah, I need to get on. I need to go on a run of watching these.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see what happens with Disney Plus. Everything's raising prices, but it's the wrong time. People are jumping ship, like Howard Stern, Cynthia Nixon. A lot of people are saying like we're canceling our Disney Plus subscription, and so maybe
they lost so much money.
I know. So I wonder if this is not the right time, or they thought, well, since people are canceling so much, the only way they can subscribe back again is that pay more. Maybe they're doing that, but that could blow up in your face. Do you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. But we do have some comic book news to get into, superhero news to get into, and that is that Spider-Man has cast its Tombstone. Marvin Jones III will play the crime boss Tombstone in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Of course, there's a break right now because of the concussion that Tom Holland suffered on set. We send our well wishes for him to get better and feel better because concussions are no joke. But they have cast Marvin Jones III there to play Tombstone. And some of you may be like, wait, I've heard that name before connected to Tombstone. And yes, because he has voiced Tombstone in the Spider-Verse movie. So he is going to be part of the Brand New Day situation. So Tombstone, do you like this as one of the villains? Because I don't think he's the main villain, but do you like him as one of the villains here in Spider-Man New Day?
I do, especially because you're trying to take Spider-Man and make more of the street level heroes and the stuff that's kind of going on. We don't need everything to be a colossal world ending event. We don't need everything to be universe-ending event. Like Spider-Man is arguably the most popular superhero on the planet outside of like Batman for a reason. And it's the same thing. It's interesting to see Batman rub shoulders with Wonder Woman and Superman and stop Darkseid, but it's far more interesting to see him try and deal with the Joker and whatever insanity that's going on. It's the same thing. So I love it. And specifically Marvin Jones III. Did you watch Black Lightning in the day back in the day when it was on?
It's good,
dude. His Tobias Whale. Holy shit. He would say some of the most racist shit because he was playing an albino, and so he was like a self-hating kind of black, and it reminded me of like if Uncle Ruckus was a supervillain. like it was, he was so good. And so I don't think he's gonna bring that same particular character. I don't think that matches here, but the same mobster energy will be there. And that I'm here for. He is very, very good at playing that role and playing it well.
This is a fantastic rise for him because if you look at his resume, he was an uncredited guy in a number of films. Collateral, uncredited. American Gangster, uncredited. Django Unchained, uncredited. Southpaw, uncredited. Bleed for This, another boxing movie with what's Miles Teller, uncredited. And then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the first time he gets an actual credit as Tombstone, the voice of. Then he does some TV show and then goes right into Black Lightning in the same year and then becomes established through Black Lightning and then on to Halo, Equalizer, All-American Homecoming, and a film called Shadow Force earlier this year. And then boom, right into
this will most arguably be probably the biggest film and the biggest role that he's played. Not that Tombstone wasn't a big deal in Into the Spider-Verse, but as far as like on camera, you know what I'm saying? This will then take him to that next level. They go, oh snap, okay, So I'm always love to see it, man. I mean, now the thing is, if I remember correctly, he is, I want to say a rapper.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Crondon. And that was kind of like his main thing beforehand, but he then ends up going, obviously, and it's been kind of shifting over to acting like this, and this is really taking him to the next level, and I love to see it, man.
Wow, he's from LA too. Okay.
But yeah, he's ghostwritten for, let's see, according to Wikipedia here, he's ghostwritten for Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Exhibit, Big Geronimo. He's written for a lot of people, man. So yeah, good for him.
Snoop Dogg. Damn. All right. Respect for him. Can I tell you something? For a moment, I thought it was The Receiver. And I'm like, wait, he's coming into acting. Marvin Jones, he's coming into acting.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Like, no, it's not the Bengals receiver, John.
Hey, man, tell Marvin Harrison to learn how to catch balls. Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Bro.
Derrick Henry had to hold on to ball. Well, maybe we should make the segue now. Let's talk about it. Let's move into the NFL week 4 here. Week 3 that just went down. Finished out last night with the game between the Ravens and the Lions. Damn good game. I lost my fantasy because Lamar refused to throw the Zay Flowers. But yeah, the Lions marched into Baltimore, got the victory, arguably the premier game of the weekend. But what a bunch of madness that went on this weekend with special teams, blocked field goals. The Browns, I know Matt Thomas must be dancing a jig today. The Browns beating the Packers in that shocking victory. The Steelers almost losing to the Patriots. The Eagles pulling out a victory over the Rams when they were down 17 points in the second half. Like amazing stuff that happened throughout the weekend. And then the news today, real quick, Jackson Dart will now be starting for the Giants. Russell has been 4 games in. 3 games. Wow. Anyway. Sorry.
Well, because the team started 0-3, and you played terrible in 2 of the 3 games. The only one that you actually looked good is because the Dallas defense was so bad, you were able to put up 400-plus yards and like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So it's just you don't have the sauce anymore. So unfortunately, that's kind of it. And it's funny because I was of the mindset of like, don't put Dart in yet. Like, let him learn some. And, you know, if you need to switch over to Jameis. But there was one of the like a former player, one of the talking heads on First Take who was like, but see, here's the problem. If that's what they were thinking about doing in the first place, then you don't elevate Dart at the end of the preseason to the number 2 quarterback. Skipping him now feels weird. You should have put him at 3 to start. And then if you're done with Russell, then you move on to Jameis and let this kid continue to learn. But You know, the only thing I worry about is that if he really does have the sauce like that, I mean, look, I'm not looking for the Giants to be good, so he cannot. That's fine by me.
Right.
But if we're just talking from a non-biased standpoint, if the point is for him to grow, you don't want to put him out there before he's ready and then end up in a situation where he learns bad habits,
Yes,
or he loses confidence, and
Yeah.
then he's not ready to go. Like, I think about most of the people that have been successful in this modern era. There are exceptions to the rule, but like Patty sat behind Alex Smith for like a year or so.
right.
Jordan Love had to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, all of those situations. Now, some of them are able to figure it out. Like Baker Mayfield, unfortunately, like had to get his licks and almost got bounced out of the league, but was able to figure it out now.
Yeah.
You know, so it can happen, but
Yeah.
it's typically better to give you an opportunity to wait, because even though Caleb Williams had a great game, okay, again, we have just talked about how the Cowboys defense is dog shit. So this doesn't spell anything, and there's still a concern that if he's not able to put this together continuously, he will develop bad habits and fall off and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
The midfield throws are still not great from Caleb. Even in that victory against the Cowboys, he was still kind of overthrowing people, underthrowing people. The long ball was there, but the long ball's always been there for Caleb. So this could either be a legitimate victory or fool's gold, to be honest, because that Dallas secondary is just not good.
It's for two reasons. One, you got to see. I don't think they realized how much Micah was covering up.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, your two premier corners,
right,
have either remained hurt or have not been the same since they got back.
Yeah,
you just paid him a bunch of money, and then what Bland is still hurt, and Diggs just wasn't looking good.
Yeah,
but a lot of that was because when you had the pressure from Micah, they didn't have to necessarily hold coverage nearly as long, and they could be a little bit more bold with what they were doing. But now that you have no pass rush and you got all day, give a receiver and then the next thing you know, wide open, wide every time. And it happened all three games. Jalen didn't even throw it, but then you had both Russell and Caleb throwing all over you.
Yeah.
So
how much stock do you put in Danny Dimes? I mean, like Daniel Jones, they have not played great teams. So is he reborn, or is this a little bit of like, let me see what he can do against a really good team?
I still stand by the only decent team that they've beaten is the Broncos. And even then, whether or not they're good or bad, you can't tell. There was a lot of talk about them being a dark horse favorite, no pun intended, to go the distance, but at least to have a high seed in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think the true test is like playing the Rams. I think that's your
LA.
first, in LA. So that's like your first solid opponent here. Raiders are kind of nah, Cardinals are kind of nah, and then again coming back to LA and playing the Chargers. I think those are your two major tests in the first half of the year here, to see how good the Colts are. But I do think you got to keep it a buck. Jonathan Taylor is a monster. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that Danny Dimes has been good at, and we could say this back when he was in New York.
Yeah.
When you had someone like Saquon running the ball the way that he was, it allowed Daniel Jones to kind of have, now they got to worry about Daniel Jones. So all of a sudden, or they got to worry about Saquon. So now all of a sudden he can throw stuff up, or he can go and break off. That's why I can't believe they started calling him White Vic for a minute. That was insane. But because he is not as fast and does not have as much of a cannon as Mike Vick did. But they are such a balanced pass and run attack.
Yeah.
He looks great. But again, I agree with you. Wait till you start playing a solid team that can stack up points and has a good defense. And the Rams and the Chargers are great examples of that.
Yeah, I was half tempted to drive up. I was going to reach out to Barbarian, see if he's got an extra ticket. I was going to go up and watch him play against the Rams, because I've never liked Daniel Jones, but there's something about cheering for somebody who is getting a second chance and bouncing back and taking advantage of a second chance. It kind of wins me over. So there was a piece of me that was thinking about it, but do I love him enough to spend hundreds of dollars for a ticket? Maybe not.
I'll take a look, because we always try
to be in there.
We always try to go to one game a year. Maybe we wait. I don't know if the Chargers have gotten way more expensive, but we used to be able to get nosebleeds for Chargers for like $70.
Yeah.
So if we're able to pull that off, man, bring your ass up here. We'll tailgate and shit.
Let me know.
We'll go to that game.
Bring the old man in there. Yeah, right
we'll
now.
Literally spill some tequila. How about that shit? You know what I'm saying?
We're doing a show while we're doing the game.
Maybe we do. Maybe we do it for the parking lot, bro.
We out here spilling it.
Yeah. Look at the price of these tickets. Hold on. Go ahead.
I need more. Yeah, but I thought it was. This is one of those weekends that happen in the NFL where you're like, this is why you love the NFL. This is exactly why you love the NFL, because there was no way the Rams were supposed to lose that game to the Eagles, and they did. There's no way the Buccaneers were supposed to come back after Aaron Glenn and the Jets got that great block and touchdown on the field goal there. And then you look at the Jaguars. I mean, now what we were talking about last week, bro, the Texans and CJ Stroud, we got to start having the real conversation about CJ Stroud. And I finally started hearing some of the analysts say the same thing, that he's regressing. And we may have just seen the best of CJ Stroud in the first season. And these last two now might be like him just going back down to earth and not being able to sustain being a number one. And DeMarco Ryans might get fired as well as the coach of the Texans. So
Which would suck.
Weekend.
Yeah, that would suck. I mean, because the funny thing is, like the weird part, CJ Stroud at the same time, like looking at him so far this season, I mean, look, he's still got almost 600 yards in 3 games.
Yeah.
So he's sitting at 64% completion. You'd like that to be a little higher, but he's, in a way, he's balling. The problem is he's just making too many bad mistakes that are overshadowing what he's doing. Either throwing balls away or taking unnecessary sacks, or then when you at least can deal with that, he's taken 8 sacks already this year.
Yeah.
And he's already thrown 3 interceptions as well. So he's got a 2 to 3 touchdown to interception ratio. So it's just not going the way that they were hoping. You know what I mean? And
but
I don't know, man.
Let's deal with the Ravens, dude. Last night, I mean, Lamar was getting chased all over the place. That O-line could not block the Lions. And then that defense was dog shit, because the Lions, 2 separate drives of 95 yards each. That's unheard of against the Ravens. I think it's not since like the late 90s, early 2000s that has ever happened to the Ravens. And the Lions marched into Baltimore and won that game. And now you've got Derrick Henry with fumbleitis. You've got Lamar looking like he maybe has lost a half step, that extra burst that he needs. And you're going to have to start having questions about these Ravens. And that, I'm not ready to believe that, but I can see where people are coming up with that stuff.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I actually don't think it's as much, and I hate to say this, I don't even think it's as much Lamar and all of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember who I heard say it, but they were like, I think the window of this combination, so Lamar, Harbaugh, I think Harbaugh is the issue.
Oh,
I think from the standpoint of Harbaugh's teams have always, as pretty much how the AFC North has gone.
Yeah.
All of those teams tend to be hard-hitting defenses first.
Yeah.
And they have over the years kind of developed some pretty strong offenses, but that's the thing. Your strength at this point is your offense. It is,
right.
The fact that Lamar can put up 4 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, like almost a 100 QBR. Like that is who you are with the Derrick Henry, who's known as King Henry. And I get they're making mistakes right now. So we got to put that on but like, I think it was the game against Buffalo. They were talking about the fact that, again, the stronger side of the ball is your offense. You shouldn't have punted it and given Josh Allen time to go and do what Josh Allen was going to do. Right. You should have given the ball to Lamar and let him go do what he does best, because that is your strong hand now. And so I think it might just be in the same way that I honestly think I really like Jim Harbaugh. I love Mike Tomlin. They both have won what 2 chips, I think. They both won 2, or did Tomlin just win 1? And
I think Tomlin won 1. Yeah, and
Harbaugh's won 2, or just 1?
I think only 1 as well, because it was Belichick who was the coach when they won in 2000. Yeah.
Okay, so he's won. Right? So he won the 1. John Harbaugh won the. I kept saying Jim. I meant John.
Yeah.
I was confused too. John won the one that was
like,
against the Niners.
right. The Colin Kaepernick Super Bowl.
And then Tomlin only won one then.
Right, with Roethlisberger. He only won one with Roethlisberger.
But Roethlisberger won two?
Oh, yes, because one was under Bill Cowher, which was the first.
That's okay. So he was an assistant coach then, and then he won it as a head coach. But
right.
But that's fine. We'll keep it at one. Like we'll just say that as the head coach.
Yeah, as a head coach, yes.
As successful as both of them have been, we've gotten to a point where you haven't gotten over the hump, and they seem to kind of be making a lot of the same mistakes. You dug in on, in this case with Tomlin, you dug in on this old quarterback and Aaron Rodgers. It's like, okay, he can show you a couple of flashes, but like he's nothing what he was.
Yeah.
And clearly the Steelers defense isn't really what it was anymore. That steel curtain idea is gone. And I'm not even talking about the old school steel curtain, but like this era that he has just been gone. And John Harbaugh, his defense isn't really what it used to be.
Yeah.
I think it might be time. Honestly, you might wipe the whole all four head coaches of the AFC North. I think a shakeup is coming soon because none of them are really owning up to the legacies that they are. And I still think that the talent you have in Baltimore, you just need some sort of shakeup to get them over the hump. You know what I'm saying? I think whatever message that John Harbaugh has been trying to get in there, clearly isn't enough anymore. And and almost in the way of like, well, we tried it. Okay, bring in Steve Kerr. Sorry, Mark Jackson. Like you did a good job of kind of laying the groundwork, and then you bring in Steve Kerr and they become the Warriors. Like, hey man, the Bulls are doing well. Then you bring in Phil Jackson, they become the Bulls. I think it might just be time for that. As sad as it would say to see either of them lose their job.
Yeah. You might not be wrong, man, to be honest with you. And it's a scary situation to see so much change, but they've been there for so long, man, especially Tomlin. I think the Steelers fans are like, look, it was great and we respect what you did, but like, we're getting a little tired of just getting into the playoffs. This is a proud franchise that's about winning titles, not just getting into the playoffs.
I think what they have to look at it as, both the organizations, but even these coaches, I think you got to think about it the way that Andy Reid did. Mm-hmm. I think like Andy Reid had a lot of success with the Eagles, but just really couldn't get where he needed to go.
Yeah.
And then they mutually decide to part ways. He goes to Kansas City, and then he is arguably, like people like to throw it out there, as he's the greatest coach of all time, is what they like to throw in the mix with the amount of success he has had in Kansas City, let alone the success getting to Super Bowls in Philly. You didn't win, but you got there. But then in Kansas City, you won 3, you've been to 5, you went to 9 straight AFC titles. Like, that is insane. You know what I'm saying? So, and especially since Belichick fell off so hard. Like, if Belichick hadn't fallen off so hard.
Oh, my God. It just occurred to me as you were talking. What would be amazing is if Tomlin and Harbaugh traded for each other.
That would be interesting. I don't think either organization would be okay with that. I think they both would be furious.
Tomlin coaching Lamar, sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Harbaugh bringing back the steel curtain to the Steelers, sign me up for that. I'm in for that. So it would be really fascinating if they switched jobs.
I was pissed. I wanted Tomlin to come to Dallas, but Jerry would never have allowed that shit.
Right.
But I think Tomlin already doesn't necessarily want to talk to the media anyway. Let Jerry say whatever the fuck he wants and let Tomlin go run this shit.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And bring that kind of hard-hitting mentality down there. I also think that some of the other teams that I think having them go there would really help out a lot.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that you could send either one of them to the Giants. I think that would be they both would be great up there.
Harbaugh, yeah, totally, yeah.
I'm trying to think what other teams right now need a coach. I mean, we'll see with Shanahan. He keeps breaking all his players.
The break,
yeah, dude. Which I want to do a minor plug. I'll talk about it a little bit later. Okay. So my girl and her friend, they're in a fantasy league together. They've started a podcast.
Nice.
And so they do this actually kind of amazing segment called the Zaddy Corner. That's where they say that they go and they talk about the head coaches, who's the Zaddy or the fallen Zaddy. And the first fallen Zaddy was Kyle Shanahan, because they were like, God damn, bro, you look like you've been president for the last 8 years. Why did you get so old in 2 years? Like some retinol, dude, some retinol and some sleep. Like
you try to win with Brock Purdy and constant season-ending injuries for all your stars. That's gonna age you like crazy, bro.
But I've said this before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's him and how he's running the team, or if it's how San Francisco has put together their training staff.
Yeah.
The amount of injuries that happen on that team is unheard of.
Right. It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. Bosa out for the year.
Again.
Birdie with the turf toe. Yeah. It's crazy.
What that, and then the year before, Debo was constantly hurt. Debo seems pretty fine with you guys so far. Ayuk hurt, dealing with that shit.
Jawan Jennings.
Exactly. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, was Shanahan with Washington when y'all broke RG3?
Yes, because it was his dad who was coaching the team,
right?
But it was Kyle who was there as an assistant. Yeah.
So like my whole thing, did you just take up after your daddy and you just out here breaking your people? Because like, what is happening? I personally don't get it. And I'm not saying you don't play hard, you don't give 110%, all that kind of shit.
Right.
At this rate now, it is only a matter of time, knock on wood, because he's spent half of his career essentially out, but you're now having to funnel everything through CMC because Mac Jones is fine. But again, you got to run it back like that. It's only a matter of time that this workhorse that has already been worked to death himself gets injured again.
Listen, they won the game, but they didn't crush the Cardinals. Like it was 1 point or whatever. So Mac Jones, fine, but it's still 16-15. That's an embarrassing amount of points for the 49ers to score, with the amount of weapons that they had with McKay. Hey, look, we gave them Brian Robinson, for God's sakes. They've got things they can do, but I mean, you look at here's the receiving core. Ricky Pearsall, what? Kendrick Bourne, Jake Tonga, Sky Moore, Marcus Valdez-Scantling, who I think was with the Packers last year, and Kyle Juszczyk. And McCaffrey, of course. That's their passing core. And look, shout out to Ricky getting 117 yards, but still, that's just this is not a top of the line receiving core that they have right now for the 49ers. So
because essentially two of your starters in Jennings and Ayuk are both out for however long that they're out.
Yeah, and
Pearsall, they took him in the first round for a reason.
Yeah,
so he's showing up the way that he should, but it's essentially Pearsall and McCaffrey because your most targets were to McCaffrey. With 15, and he caught 10 for 88 through the air.
Right.
And then Pearsall, 11 targets, 8 for 117 over 8.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're just working with what you got.
It's true. So we'll see. All right, we're coming to the end of the show, so let's jump into some questions here before we get out of here. Where are they at here? Comments. There it is. Questions. Got it. All right, so if you want to send in your questions, now's the time. Streamlabs Super Chats. Send them in if you want to keep us talking about stuff. Dennis Hoffman says, just sending support. You fellas are great. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, sir.
Kind of you. Cody Bishop says, Sinclair and Nexstar should be looked at as monopolies if Dems take power back, but we all know how Dems don't like to make waves, so I doubt it. Yeah, I wish I was a politician and a powerful Dem, because I would absolutely angle to get in power and just shatter these monopolies. And all the whining and crying, I would just tell them to kick rocks, man.
Dude,
just come after them, man. Like Teddy Roosevelt did, busting up monopolies, man. Study that presidency.
Dude, the worst thing that could happen right now is if Paramount actually does absorb Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Like that genuinely would be one of the worst things ever, because you're going to talk about God knows how many layoffs.
Right.
And let alone because Skydance CEO has been very vocal about how he is very conservative and very pro-MAGA and will pin stuff back. It's literally why the only thing that stopped South Park essentially was, and they pulled reruns of the Charlie Kirk episode, even though Charlie did himself, he thought it was hilarious. Charlie openly was like, no, they got me. That was funny. The South Park isn't going anywhere, but like, you know what I'm saying? They're about the only one that can kind of get away with stuff a little bit with the Daily Show, but we'll see how long they allow them to kind of do what they're doing.
Right.
No more mergers. Enough with these damn mergers, bro.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. Cody Bishop, what is the middle, John? Sorta anti-trans? No. Because why? What the fuck? I just don't understand it. It's got nothing to do with you. It affects your life in literally 0 ways. 0 ways. Look up the court. How many court cases did you find a trans person in the bathroom assaulting anybody? It's literally nothing. And so it's crazy how much people have made this a big deal. No, the middle is let them exist like they let you exist and stop fucking with them. That's the middle. Stop messing around with them. Let them live.
Just leave people alone.
Leave people alone.
Leave people the fuck alone, bro.
They're just like you. They're trying to pay their bills. They're trying to live in a crazy country.
Find love, go on vacation, have a kid, have a dog, enjoy the beach. Like leave people the fuck alone. Just leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly. Just be nice to people and just live and exist. And yes, some people are going to commit crimes. Some people are going to do crazy shit. That's life. And to try to legislate against it all the time is madness, because you know how many straight people be committing shit?
Significantly more. Which is that's
people keep committing shit, please.
I don't even want to get into a Charlie conversation, but even the last thing he was talking about, the question that was asked is, do you know how many trans people were involved in mass shootings? And he was like, too many. And everybody started clapping. It was like, okay, well, of the 5,000 or whatever the number is, it's been 5.
Yeah.
All right?
5.
So
5.
it doesn't mean like, yes, any shooting is too many shootings. But if we're genuinely going to talk about this number, again, an insignificant number compared to the field.
Should we be going after straight people? We should be going after straight people for all the crimes they're committing.
It should technically be straight white men based upon when you look at the actual numbers of how often it's happening.
But it's ridiculous to do that. And that's the whole point that Winston and I are saying. Straight white men or trans, it's ridiculous to do that kind of. Of course, you want to put rules in place, you want regulations in place, all that kind of things. But to think one particular group and the lowest percentage, arguably, of people in this country, that's the ones you're going to target. It's nonsense. It's utter nonsense. He says billionaires fund culture wars to not pay taxes. Yeah, probably Cody. You're probably
1,000%, Rocha, 1,000%. If we're too busy fighting, it is so easy for someone to run. Like if we're literally in the middle of the street, throwing bricks at each other and screaming and all that shit, it is so easy for somebody to break into our apartment, take the shit they want because we're not paying attention.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they find willing people like Benny Johnson to essentially have the billionaire put his hand up his ass and have him say the things he wants him to say because they pay these fuckers off with Russian money or American money, whatever money it is, allegedly, and all that kind of jazz, and because they jump at it because they want the fame. Chris Corcoran, the Zoran Mamdani victory in New York City shows the blueprint for the Dems. Schumer and Jeffries can't even bother to endorse him. We need new leadership.
Clearly, the people are speaking about what they want, and they're just choosing not to do it.
Yeah, it's a little even Kamala last night wasn't a full endorsement. She's like, "I'll support the Democrat in any race," and it's like,
I know the answer, but I don't want to talk about it. If I'm being honest,
Okay.
I read between the lines. But there is a very specific reason, and I'm just not.
Well, yes, I think you're 100% right. Fredtastic 314 says, "Well, that's why Rocha is the satin Latin." Oh, thank you, Fred. It's very kind of you. I think that's about
not the satin Latin.
Something with that. Cody Bishop says the Dems old guard are too corporate for change. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think they all need to be thrown out. I think you need to elevate the squad, elevate Mamdani, elevate all these younger people to come in. We need energy. This is what happened with the thing that Democrats don't understand. The old school Democrats, like, this is what happened on the right. The young people were coming through MAGA. Now, look, it's the old Trump who's in charge of it, but like the young people coming through, they saw the movement and they overpowered the older establishment. The younger Democrats, the younger leaders, they need to do that and overpower the older establishment and get them to shut the fuck up and get them to fight, for God's sakes, because this is nonsense. It's nonsense.
The only other thing that pisses me off is that you can sit here and have like where I think that the Democratic leadership is totally failing. You could have someone like Laura Loomer going around talking about it hurts my heart that we have ghetto black bitches who hate America serving in Congress.
I mean, her of all, who is she to judge anybody
at anything at all? And for her, like, again, let's be real.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. So yeah, she technically can say it.
Has a right to say it. Yes.
That being said, it is hateful and divisive. And so the fact that Democrats are not speaking out against that type of shit more,
right,
and having Jasmine's back and letting her take all that shit by herself is wild.
Yeah. I agree. It's very wild. And have it.
Oh, Clarissa didn't know. Yeah, Laura Loomer tweeted out a couple days ago. She said, "It hurts my heart that we have ghetto black bitches who hate America serving in Congress," and then tagged Jasmine Crockett.
A woman of incredible accomplishment, much more accomplishment than Laura Loomer.
1,000% more accomplishment. Laura ain't done nothing but be a side hoe.
It's.
What did I say that's wrong, Rocha?
I don't.
Damn it. No. Look, if she want to be a side piece, that's her business. All right. I've known a bunch of very successful side pieces. All right. And that's what she wants to do with her life.
Yeah. They're usually on reality show. Matt Sister McCall says WWE is stupid going to ESPN Plus. Not getting ESPN Plus. I'm canceling Peacock and Regal Plays pay-per-view. So I'll watch them there and eat popcorn for hours. There you go,
bro.
man.
Did you hear that they apparently gave like a kind of a middling review of this last
their own pay-per-view of their own pay-per-view?
And Triple H was apparently pissed.
I'm sure he was. Yeah. 3 stars, I think they gave it. Jack Self says, do you think these late night hosts see the writing on the wall with legacy media and are planning their next moves into the YouTube/podcast space, go independent like Conan and control their content? Yeah, probably true. Yeah, I would say so, because the numbers have gone down with viewership, but they're getting paid really, really well. But I do think they see the future here, and you always want to make plans to stay successful in this business. So yeah.
Real quick, I decided to do a quick share. I just wanted to point out something. We were talking about that hate eating away at your soul.
Oh,
Laura Loomer is 32. Jasmine Crockett is 44.
Yeah.
Laura Loomer literally looks like she's like the teacher that's been at the school for like 2 decades, and Jasmine just got out of college and is like the new teacher on the block. Like that, it's that kind of age gap shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it looks like Laura used to babysit Jasmine when she was in college, and Jasmine would have been like, in middle school.
Yeah,
that's the kind of divide, and they are literally the opposite as far as their ages. That shit is crazy. Hate eats away at your soul, and you start to look like Palpatine.
There you go. Chris Corker says, Stephen Miller, what do you have? Oh, I don't know. Hair. Oh, nice. I like that. Matt at the movie says, some support for 2 of the best. Been loving the Demon Slayer reactions. Winston, what's the chance Hal or John cameo in Peacemaker? Hal Jordan or John Stewart?
I feel like relatively low.
Yeah.
I think if anything, you might get the Justice Gang again. I don't think they're going to introduce anybody like new like that. I think that doesn't really seem like Gun style to do that.
Yeah.
But I think that I think everybody's right. I think this is Earth X, and I think we're going to find out. I think we're going to find out this week. Because someone essentially said, I saw someone be like, yeah, I don't think Judo Master is making it out alive. Like I think Judo Master might be the first casualty. Like as soon as he ends up in that world.
Who let the person of color in?
I was not even that, like, I won't say the super offensive one, but I guarantee you somebody's going to go, who let the Chinaman in here? Someone is going to say that shit, and it's going to get ugly fast. And then all of a sudden he's going to realize, oh shit, I shouldn't be here. And it's not going to
be Michael from the Geek Buddies, the show that I do in here, he suggested something that I thought was really great, Winston, is that they might have a Superman cameo, but it's not David Cornsweet from the Superman movie we saw. It's the Superman from that universe, and Peacemaker killed that Superman. And I was like, oh shit, that could be interesting as an approach.
Killed the Superman. Wait.
Which is why those 3 guys are in charge of all the crime and stopping all the crime.
Oh, interesting.
Because they killed Superman. And that may be why he takes all the pills and stuff, because of the guilt of what he did participating in the killing of Superman. So
interesting.
Yeah. I wonder. We'll see.
Chris Cochran in the comments going full Will Arnett. I made a huge mistake.
Good point. One last super chat here for now, and that is Julius Wyatt saying, how CMC the only 49er that's got unscathed? That's a great question. That's a really good question.
That's a really, really good question.
Don't put that out there, though. Don't put that out there. He might get injured this weekend. Knock on wood. All right, fantastic. We've got some Streamlabs that have come through as well. So let's answer these and get on out of here because I got to get ready for a screening myself. Fantastic says, "What's up, game time? I mean, tequila spillers." Well, now that my Cowboys are in their annual wash, rinse, repeat mode, I can focus on more important things like how embarrassed is JJ going to be on Sunday and which head coach is getting fired first. My pick is Brian Daboll. Well, yeah, probably, and because I don't think the Jackson Dart move is going to work, so. I'm sure he'll be fired by the end of the season.
We'll see, man. I mean, Scatterboo was actually pretty good.
He was good. His own mom shouted him out on Twitter. That was great.
Which is funny. I saw the funniest tweet where someone said, "White running backs are super rare, but they come in two different varieties. Either the most cerebral person ever and just like making all sorts of crazy cuts, seeing holes, or they ate a lot of crayons as a kid and they just run right through you."
Like Mike Allstott. Right for the Buccaneer. Oh,
what was it? Pettis that ended up on the Madden cover that played for the Browns. Was that his name?
Oh yeah, shit.
That was a corn-fed white boy, bro.
Yeah,
he was just bowling ball of a human just running through people, man. Right? But Scatterboo is crazy good, man. So like I that's kind of scary. I don't think he is a Saquon replacement, but he is very good in his own right. And if Dart is even remotely what they're hoping he is, I wouldn't even. This is gonna sound crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys end up fourth place, the Giants somehow sneak into third. If the Jackson Dart experiment actually works, we'll see.
Jackson Dart,
Peyton Hillis. That's what was.
Peyton Hillis, right?
Yeah. Peyton Hillis, bro. That was a bad white boy, bro. Peyton was no joke.
He got that money and then fell right off. Right off.
It was the Madden curse.
Yeah,
it's always the Madden curse.
Yeah. Because you guys had Moose. Johnston was a beast back there. I liked Moose. Fantastic. Also, what movie is probably the worst you've seen, but are shocked that some people refer to it as likable? Mine is Streets of Fire. How fucking dare you? My number one worst movie I've seen, and that includes the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie, Love My Dudes. Thank you, Fred. So worst movie you've ever seen, but are shocked that some people refer to it as likable.
Worst movie I've ever seen? I don't know about that.
No, it's the worst movie you've ever seen that people
people like it though.
You can't understand why they like it.
I'm not gonna call it the worst movie I've ever seen. I think that's wild, but I think that Avatar is overrated. No, I'm serious. So I say to that, I think it's okay, fine. I think it's fine. I genuinely think it's fine. There's the thing about it that is so incredible is the technology and the cinematography work.
Yes.
But the actual movie is fine. And yet the way that it's being treated like it's the second coming of Jesus in movie form, that I don't understand personally. But that's me.
I feel that way about Gone with the Wind if we go with a classic one. I don't get why people like that movie. But I'll say BVS. BVS is a terrible movie.
People
love it.
They do
love it. Oh God, people love BVS.
Really?
Yes, legitimately. There are people who legitimately love it, and they go, "You got to see the unlimited one, like the uncut one."
I have, and it's significantly better, but I'm not like whoa, like
yes. It's not a good, and I love Man of Steel, but BVS, I cannot get on board with that. Samuel says, "Hey y'all, what were y'all's thoughts on RFK Jr.'s statement on the cause of autism? As someone who is autistic, I find it disgusting and frustrating that some folks like him think autistic people like me should be second-class citizens." I agree, brother. It was ridiculous. And here's how you say the word for his other buddy there: acetaminophen.
Well, how do we say that? Acetaminophen, cinnamon, acetaminophen, acetaminophen. There you go.
Hey,
dude, I hope Tylenol sues the shit out of the government.
I hope so too.
I hope they sue the shit out of the government, bro.
I hope they sue RFK Jr. so bad that he is like having to serve lunch in a cafeteria, like I to pay bills. Like it's so ridiculous. I want Cheryl Hines in like potato sacks. That's what I want, because this is madness to me on so many levels. It's so hurtful. The way Dr. Oz was talking down to pregnant women and said we need to stop gaslighting them. Like, men should not be deciding this nonsense. You fuckers don't go through any of this stuff. So to sit there and try to tell what is best for women, it's just utter nonsense. And the autism thing, of course, and the Tylenol, all of that is just so utterly stupid. Utterly
Absolutely
stupid.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Biden trips over a sandbag and it's a national fucking emergency. But we watch these guys like almost every day look like people who are completely not there, not all there, and yet nobody makes a big deal out of it. It's crazy to me. Doug Developer says, watch the Ed Gain trailer, and I can't help but picture high school Rocha jamming to the Pet Shop Boys on dance floors with chicks. Rocha, any cheesy 80s new wave hits you unabashedly love? Think cheese like Kids in America, an obsession. What? I am so confused by this question.
I'm not familiar with Pet Shop Boys. I've been told about it twice now. I want to say on Capes and Cows, and I still haven't listened to them.
Oh, you mean he's okay. So, you're saying because they use that song on the trailer. Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Because that's a serial. I'm not a serial. Was never a serial killer, nor was I dancing around to Pet Shop Boys. But he's saying if you, yeah, the Pet Shop Boys were big in the 80s, of course. Yeah. But I wasn't on many dance floors.
Not much of a dancer.
I was a pretty shy kid. No.
Fair,
I can fucking dance.
Okay, that's not. But I didn't mean that you can't dance. But you're not a dance. Like you're like, nah, I don't really do that. Like I can do it. I don't want to do it. You know, what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
necessarily jump up and do it. But it wasn't until later in life that I would actually get on any kind of floors. But no,
like it's the same thing, Roga. Like I don't like to fight. I can, but I don't like to do it. You know what I'm saying? I actually loathe doing it. But if I got to throw down, I got to throw down.
You're like Bruce Lee. I don't want any trouble.
Did I say it on this show? I don't remember what it was, but I was Jackie Chan the whole time. I don't want trouble. Like,
don't want trouble.
But just beat your ass. I didn't want trouble. Just
he's the best. Any 80s new wave hits you want to bash live? First of all, nothing is cheesy about 80s new wave. Let me just put that on. I love 80s new wave, and I love the retro new wave that has come out over the last few years since like the movie Drive. I love retro new wave. There's YouTube channels that have like hours and hours of retro new wave music that I just put on while I'm writing or playing a game or focusing on something. It's great. I love new wave music, period.
Oh, and I've been told that it was this show. You did this a week ago, Winston. Talk about I don't want trouble.
That's all. Mike McKenzie says, hey guys, just another donation to John's pre-order for Ghost of Yote. Oh, thanks, man. I'm expecting a review from you when you finish it. Mike, absolutely. Thanks for cluing me into it. I did not know it was coming out next week. I'm crazy excited for it because I can't let go of Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like Brokeback Mountain with Ghost of Tsushima. I can't quit it. I've now started a third campaign. I've never done that in a game, but because I love playing it so much, you know? So yeah, I can't wait for Ghost of Yote. I'll absolutely review it on my channel. Winston, that's all the Streamlabs super chats. Anything more you want to say here as we wrap up, brothers? I know we got to get going.
Just take care of each other, man. Like I think I really am so afraid right now personally because it feels like people are further and further disconnecting from each other. And I think the more that happens, it really will divide us enough to continue to be manipulated. Until there's nothing left. That's classic military strategy 101. You stick together, don't allow yourself to get flanked. Like just this has got to stop. It has got to stop. Get off the internet, go touch grass, go join a rec league, go join a sewing club, go to a park and we'll play with dogs. I don't know, but just remember that other humans are humans.
Yeah, and I think another thing is that, you know, there are these groups that people get together that deal with like feelings of depression or anxiety or loss or fear of the world. There's a lot of locals in your local town. There are centers. There are people who have these meetings. Go be a part of those meetings. Go meet people. And you're going to see people from different walks of life, different ethnicities, different social strata and economic strata who come to these meetings. And there you can like fall back in love with humanity. And I think it's important because we've become so hateful that we're not focusing on the fact that everyone is just trying to survive. And we need to come back to appreciating that and not let these loud minority, in terms of the amount of people, try to turn us against each other. We got to fight back against that. So yeah, great points, Winston. Great words out there. All right, that's our show for today. Thank you all so much for Spill the Tequila fans. We appreciate and love you all. Winston, tell them where they can find you and what you got going on this week, brother.
You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred. Yesterday or Mondays, I do the Blurred breakdown. I've got a out of the theater reaction for what was it? Dead of Winter. The new Emma Thompson movie that's dropping in just a little bit. I did. It was, dude. It was good.
Oh, good. I loved the trailer. Loved it.
Was good. It's I will say a little slow because you got to build it up somewhat, but great emotional payoff. Judy Greer took it to another level. So really, really good film. So that out of the theater reaction will be out soon. Nice. Blurred's in the Hood tomorrow. I can tell you ahead of time it is a pre-tape because Jay has got a show in I think San Diego. So as soon as we wrap up here, we're going to pre-record the show for tomorrow. Friday, Capes and Cows again, Christian Harloff channel, myself, Christian, and Chris Carr. And then guys, you guys did it, but you got to keep the support going. We're going to continue the Demon Slayer journey. So I'm going to be recording another, we got 4 episodes done in one day. So I guess another
going back to the beginning of the show and
we had never seen it. So we're watching it from the beginning. So
wait, you and Christian or
Christian and I, yeah, we're doing Christian and I are watching it. So we're, since we're able to essentially get 4 in a sitting, we're about to do the next 8 episodes in the next 2 days. So again, for us to continue to do it, we just need people to continue to watch it. So please, if you're a Demon Slayer fan or an anime fan, come support and watch those reactions as well. And that's everything for the time being.
There you go. All right, respect. C Block wants to know, Rocha, was that pic of Doom with a scar real? I think it was AI. I don't know if it was real or not, to be honest. So as for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media. Subscribe down below. Guys, we're so close to 40,000. Please help us get across that line so we can start marching to 50,000. We'd appreciate it. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got another episode of the Geek Buddies. We're going to be reviewing the Alien Earth finale, and then we've got Hot Mic. It'll be on Friday this week at noon. Put it on your calendar. Friday at noon. Oh, sorry, 9 a.m. Friday at 9 a.m. Because we've got a lot of stuff going on with Jeff being in Boston. But yeah, we're going to have more Geek Buddy stuff as well. So just kind of tune in for the rest of the week. And we'll talk to you next time and next week with another brand new episode here of the Spill the Tequila. We love you. Take care.